Today, I want to talk about how the shorts are about to get vaporized, not just in AMC, but across the entire market. I also want to talk about how Robinhood has been, let's say, convincing people to attend their recent event. So stay tuned and let's make some money. Also, you can currently get $100 off the price of the lifetime membership or 25% off the first month of the monthly membership by using code EASTER at the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group checkout. Today, Doc Rog managed to make back his entire lifetime membership twice over in just one trade. But now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, Charles Payne has asked about private equity funds and hedge funds and how they're hiding losses and whether this is a ticking time bomb. Bob Elliott tweeted saying that private credit funds are lying to their investors about the valuations of underlying assets, often claiming marks much higher than in traded public markets. And he said most investors will be shocked by the losses these investors eventually take from investing in these private credit funds and hedge funds. aka these funds, these hedge funds and these private equity funds are lying about their losses, trying to cover them up and mismarking their assets, their liabilities and their true valuations. You can see here with this pink line on a company called WellPath, these hedge funds are currently valuing it at 90% of full face value, but in the public markets it's only trading for about 60% of value. Again, another company, Dintana, these hedge funds are marking it at 70% of value, but it's actually trading at 50% of value. Again, another one, Avis & Young, being marked or valued at 80% of value, but really it's only trading at 40% value. These hedge funds and these private equity funds are massively mismarking their assets and their liabilities and their true values, obviously, to produce overinflated figures for their investors. If they tell their investors the fund's up 20%, we're doing great this year, when actually the fund is down 20% or 30%, these investors are in for some sore losses. And not only some big losses, but big surprises as well. And I imagine when these investors actually find out what's going on, they will be pulling investments at lightning speed. And not only that, but these short sellers are getting massively burnt shorting big name stocks. You can see Citadel has tweeted saying that MicroStrategy is one of the biggest shorts in the entire US market. And NVDA is currently leading the pack of the most heavily shorted stocks. We can see stocks like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Meta or Facebook, Amazon, Alphabet and MicroStrategy and AMD are all very heavily shorted. These companies have been heavily shorted all year. I touched on this list back in February, January and in December, and the names on this list haven't changed. And what that means is these hedge funds have been shorting companies like NVIDIA since $450 per share, and it's now trading over $970 per share. Again, with MicroStrategy, these funds have been shorting it since $438 per share, but it's now trading nearly $2,000 per share. Again, Meta, shorting since $279, now trading for $523. Microsoft, shorting since $323, now trading at $430. These shorts are massively underwater on their short positions, and it's only going to get worse and worse as these stocks continue increasing. And on top of that, Giuliano Capital has tweeted about how weed or pot stocks are on watch, with their prices breaking out of a multi-year downtrend. He said this sector has served as a short seller refuge. These shorters have been shorting weed and pot stocks and obviously pushing the prices down, making money on their short positions, which they haven't closed out of. But yet now these stocks and ETFs like MJ are breaking their downtrend and are pushing up from that volume launchpad. This is actually something we capitalized on in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group over the last couple of days. CGC is one of those weed stocks, one of those pot stocks, and that's what Doc Rog made twice his lifetime membership back on in just one trade. We can see he made $924 today in one of his accounts and another $1,200 in his retirement account, again, just in this one trade. On top of that, today we also traded IBIO, where Green Trader was in at $2.10 and out at $2.85 for a 35% gain, again, in just one day. So guys, be sure to join the group using the link in the description below and also using code EASTER at checkout for $100 off the price of the lifetime membership or 25% off your first month of the monthly membership. On top of that, Cheddar Flow has also tweeted about how the Federal Reserve just posted a record yearly loss of $114 billion in 2023. Now this is really interesting because over the last 2 years in 2023 and 2022, we also saw tons of other national banks like the Swiss National Bank also posting massive losses. And now it's not just the Swiss National Bank, it's not just national banks across Europe, across the EU, but even the Fed is posting giant losses. This is likely because the Fed has been providing too many bailouts, they've been taking too many losses and too significant of a loss across their mortgage portfolios, and is starting to dig themselves a deep, deep hole. What this really means is there's less cash for future bailouts, there's less cash for the plunge protection team, and we're edging closer and closer not just to that market crash, but to a recession as well. Now yesterday you may have seen that Robinhood had a recent event and there was tons of people that attended, tons of people that were invited. But what I found interesting is there was a few people in the AMC and GameStop community that also went along and were now promoting Robinhood. I don't just want to single out Donahue George here because there was tons of other people in the community that also went along and have been publicly supporting Robinhood. As Edward Burchuk tweeted, he said, "I told you they'll expose themselves. This short and distort network of paid shills, frauds, influencers, bashers, liars, clowns and sock puppets is all coming out of the woodwork." Now, what I find interesting here, I don't know if the Robinhood event was a free attend event or if they sent out private invites to these individuals. But as Owning the Float has said, he said if Robinhood invited me to that event, he would have said no. So it seems like these influencers were invited personally or privately by Robinhood and encouraged to say positive things about the company. As you can see, after having a conversation with Vlad, Donahue George has said that Robinhood has a load of great products coming out. As I said, I personally wouldn't have attended this event by Robinhood. Actually, in all fact, I didn't even get an invite, probably because they knew that I wouldn't attend anyway. But even though that's the case, Donahue George did actually ask Vlad Tenev why he turned off the buy button. Now, what's interesting is that Vlad Tenev replied by saying that he didn't want to turn off the buy button, which actually, to me, sounds like he was maybe forced to turn off the buy button by somebody else. If he didn't want to do it, but he still did it, surely there must have been some encouragement or some forcing from elsewhere. Obviously, we know that encouragement or that forceful push to turn off the buy button came from Ken Griffin and from Citadel. Obviously, we know that Ken Griffin and Vlad Tenev, or at least Robinhood and Citadel, had conversations about turning off the buy button. I don't think this all of a sudden makes Vlad Tenev the good guy in this situation. I still definitely think he's the bad guy, and he's the guy that we're entirely fighting against. That's entirely why I wouldn't have attended this event, because I wouldn't want to go to an event with the people we're fighting against. Not only that, but I certainly wouldn't want to promote the services of the company or the people that, again, are our opposition. I do want to give Donahue George here the benefit of the doubt by saying that even though I wouldn't have gone personally, at least he did ask Vlad Tenev why the buy button was turned off. But it sounds like it was basically what we already know, or what we already know. He was effectively forced to turn off the buy button by none other than Ken Griffin. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.